Holy DLC, Batman. Battlefield 1 finally dropped their first DLC for Battlefield 1, and it is called They Shall Not Pass. It involves the French army finally getting to the fight for the game, and it is amazing. My footage is not because I recorded this after having to wait till 12 o'clock midnight the day after it's released. So it came out that morning, and then I had to wait the whole day because of work to get it. But now I've played it. This is just the first hour or two I had on it. I posted earlier today Frontlines, which is what I actually recorded later, after getting some shut-eye. And oh my gosh, this DLC, I love everything about it. So first and foremost, you got 4 new maps. You got Verdun Heights, which is one with a bunch of fire with an uphill battle. You got Fort de Vaux, which is, as you can plainly tell, that is about a fort and fighting mainly inside of it and outside of its corridors outside with a bunch of trench warfare. A new map, Soissons, I believe how you pronounce it, and Rupture. And with these 4 new maps, we got a new game mode called Frontline, which is a video I already have out on my channel. You can go watch that. And 2 new operations. Operations involving Soissons and Rupture are heavily involving vehicles. As you can see currently, I have 3 tanks behind me, and that is not even the max amount my team could have. So it is redonkulous. And later, speaking of tanks, you also get to see the new Behemoth, I believe the Char 2C, I believe it's called, and it, holy balls, it is wreck city. It just single-handedly holds down a whole objective from not 64, but 32 bros. Speak of the devil, here it is. I throw so many grenades, I shoot so many AT rifles at it. My whole team is, and it lasts the whole bloody round almost, in terms of like life. It's a beast to deal with, and it's a force to be reckoned with. So 4 new maps, 1 new game mode, 2 new operations, a new Behemoth, and that's just some of what comes in this DLC. You also get a new assault tank, which is, I believe you saw it earlier. It's a elongated tank, looks super long. Main gun in the front, 3 different versions, but the main one you get is a big-ass normal tank gun in the front with also a rifle in the front, so you don't have to be in the seats looking at the side or against the wall. You actually get to see where the driver's going and shoot along with him. Super cool. You also get a new elite class, the Trench Raider, which I haven't seen yet on the battlefield. I've only plugged in maybe 4 or 5 hours so far in this DLC, and it's almost 48-hour release by the time I get this video up. But looking at videos from other YouTubers and from CTE, which is essentially, the testing of DLC before it comes out on PC, it's good if you're smart about it. You can usually get about 2 kills before you run out of health, but with this elite class, you get your own health kit. But it kind of works out in a way that if you're not going against a mass of people, then you're smart. You kill 2 people, you heal yourself, and you go on your merry way. If someone's an idiot, it's not gonna be used precisely, then it's gonna be wasted. And so it kind of depends on the user. So really, the pack doesn't really make it overpowered. Along with all those new things, there's also a new stationary weapon, which you'll see gameplay footage later in this video. The Siege Howitzer is fucking intense. People are calling it whatever, a little bit bigger than a field gun. But this thing, my gosh, field guns, I've maybe gotten 30, 40 kills on it. But playing 1 match with the field gun, I almost have that. And it's not like I've not been on the field gun, I just don't do well on the field gun, and I did this well on the Siege Howitzer. Freaking intense. I also want to put in the 2 operation names are the Devil's Anvil and Beyond the Marne. So, out there. New weapons, the Ribeye roll, so I pronounce it, 1918, the RSC 1917, the Bell Model 1886, Chartat, whatever the fudge that is, Georgian Inertia, and the MLE 1903 Extended. A couple of new melee weapons as well, Cogwheel Club, Nail Knife, and the Trench Fleur. All of these, this is super cool. You don't buy them with your war bonds, even though I have a shit ton of that and it's kind of wasting away. That's a side note. But these things are actually unlocked by the player hitting a certain amount of requirements, too, specifically, and it changes per class for the weapon. Like, for instance, in my Frontlines video, you can see, which is the name of the game mode, you can see me getting the new medic gun by healing players and doing a certain amount of kills with a certain gun. And that kind of changes with class, you know, resupplying or a certain amount of headshots, a certain amount of kills. That's why I'm using the Automatico Factory. I need it for the new Assault class weapon. All of them are pretty good. I've never seen any complaints. I'll make videos with them as soon as I get them. Just got to do a lot of, I guess, essentially farming. Even though it's not like, you know, RPG farming, I just got to go get the requirements done. I've got one done so far. I got a long way to go on the others. I haven't started some. Other than that, that's it in terms of everything on the DLC. Honest opinion, though, it's freaking good. I mean, you can't really compare it. When I'm reviewing this, I don't compare it to a DLC in terms of like Batman Arkham Knight or, you know, Batman Arkham City. Those DLCs have story involvements as well as extra components, and, you know, they're fracking amazing. Or I mentioned in my other videos, you know, like Tiny Tina Assault on Dragon Keep. That's a superb DLC, but it's got story. It doesn't have, it's not in the same category of DLC as this. This is purely gameplay, game modes, and maps. So, in its own category, and in its own category, it wrecks. Sure, Call of Duty has, you know, decent maps when they have DLC, and the biggest thing is the zombies maps, which add a lot. But if you don't play zombies, then you're kind of SOL, and it's really not worth getting the DLC maps. Especially since weapons nowadays come out in the market and not actually through gameplay and unlocking it through any normal gameplay. Like here, sure, you have to buy the DLC pass, but you'll be, as long as you get those objectives done, then you will you know, get the weapons. There's no gambling like there is in a Call of Duty game. On a side note here, when you just saw there, the zoom in on the different Sentry kits, on one of the operations maps, and like maps, plural, both of them, there are no vehicles. Now this is really cool. I thought it'd be stupid, but I forgot about it when I was playing this game, and so in this operations mode, the enemy team lost, and it zoomed in on all the elite classes. I was like, oh shit. And so we move up here to the front line of the forest, and a little smoke's coming in from the fire on the outside of this map, bringing it into our side of the map, and here comes all these elite classes. It's actually terrifying. I was scared a Raider or a Sentry was going to come out of nowhere and just wreck my ass. And that's really cool. I mean, it works. You think taking away one of the biggest aspects of the game wouldn't actually, you know, abode well for the game, but it's actually superb. It adds a different kind of depth to the game. Even though it's taking away something, it still adds depth, which is just brilliant. I had to add this part in, though. That sniper took my spot when I was reloading, and so I got pissed, and I tried to shoot down the wall on top of him, not to kill him, but to, like, ruin his cover, and I killed myself, so that's what I get for being a dick. Oh gosh, this DLC is just so good. I mean, it adds, in terms of, you know, like I said, other DLCs, it adds very little, just 4 maps and a different game mode. But the way it works and how everything's rounded and how there's no, I had no glitches or no, you know, blackouts or anything wrong with it. It just came perfectly. And here's the footage of that siege howitzer and me just wrecking with it. It's just superb. I think all around, 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you don't have, you know, the DLC, and if you're really debating it of whether getting this or, you know, I guess it would be essentially the cost of another game, this adds onto the game so much. Unlike, you know, how I kind of wasted my money on DLC for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, but let's not talk about that, or Advanced Warfare, or Ghost. But But that's really all I have to talk about it. I'll go ahead and set my audio to go back from the actual end game. I didn't talk at all because, like I said, it was late at night when I was recording this, and I got to be courteous to everyone else around me, my roommates and neighbors, so I didn't talk much at all except for a couple times. I'm pretty sure I said fuck. I don't know if I actually put that in here. But thank you very much for watching. If you don't have this DLC, it's pretty fracking good. There's big battles everywhere. They increased the time it takes to capture flags, so it adds a lot more, you know, to the panically, oh my gosh, like, holy shit, we need to do this, but you have time to go up and do it. The area of capture is increased. I'm sorry, I'm not this on kind of at the last second here, but guys, it's just that good. But like I said, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks.